I'm Andrea Blakely, and I'm here with Dr. Jan Harris, the superintendent of the Coleman City Schools. Can you please tell me what's going on in the library today?
Sure, Andrea, I'd be glad to. Today, the Coleman Area Workforce Solution, also known as CAWS, is hosting a Keeping It Real program for all 9th grade students. And this is a wonderful program, Andrea, because it keeps life real.
All right. So what do we do really? Like, how do you start?
Okay. When the students come in, they draw a role modeling slip, if you will, out of the hat. For example, the position I drew when I was going through this a minute ago was I was selected to be an electrician with a stay-at-home spouse with 2 children, and it had my salary on there. I think it was $42,900. Then the student takes that sheet and goes from station to station and prepares a budget. So on the back of the sheet, there's a list of taxes. So the first thing that the person has to do is determine, well, what is your take home out of that salary? And then each one of these modules represents a real, keeping it real portion of life. Like this one, Andrea, is about transportation. So here, the student can pick what kind of car he or she would want to drive if he or she had that salary that was selected on that card. So, for example, here's a Toyota Prius 2010, $509 a month. So you'd write that down on your budget. And then go to the next station and learn about how much it costs for insurance, or the next one for utilities, cable, internet, housing.
So you end up like adding it all up to see if you can afford it all over
That's
like
right.
a period of time?
Then once you subtract all your expenses, including on the other side of the library, I think some of the stations include clothing, child care, food. So after you deduct all of that, it makes a real life situation for the students because they understand how much everything costs.
So that's the reason it's called Keeping It Real.
That's right.
Okay, that makes sense.
And hopefully, the goal of this program is to create an awareness for students of the importance of education and getting a good job, and understanding that you can't start a new job and drive a brand new, like here, a 2009 Chevrolet Silverado, $818 a month. Not many people will be able to do that, Andrea.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Andrea Blakely here with Dr. Jan Harris. We're learning about the program CAWS. Thanks. I'm Andrea Blakely, and I'm here with Coach Page, and we're learning about what's going on in the library. Can you tell me what CAWS stands for?
Coleman Area Workforce Solutions.
In your opinion, is it beneficial?
And I think so. Actually, I've had a little experience in working with CAWS a couple of years ago. Another coach, William Calvert, good friend of mine, was principal at Cold Springs High School, and I actually worked the program at one of the stations for a couple of years. Yes.
It is beneficial?
Very beneficial. Very realistic. Every situation that I saw, and kids came around with their particular situation, were things that actually are real out in the real world. And it's just an experience that they get to kind of see how things might be out there.
In the real world?
In the real world. And yeah, definitely.
So you think they're keeping it real?
I think so.
What does keeping it real mean to you?
Keeping it real mean to me? Well, just to reflect back on some situations I remember, they come up with the female is working and making some pretty good money, and her spouse is not. So, I always said, we need to do something about this,
Yeah.
to try. And that happens out there. I see that happening out in the real world. And those are things that, it's going to happen to you when you don't ever know. And so actually going through it in a situation like this is beneficial to you. It's kind of like practicing for a football game. You got to try to simulate what you think is going to happen in preparation.
Do you think this program will expand?
I hope so, Andrea. I hope so, but I don't know for sure, but I sure hope so.
But as long as they keep it real, you're good?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
I'm Andrew Blakely, here with Coach Page and CCTV 55. Thanks. Hey, I'm Andrew Blakely, and I'm here in the CHS library, and we're learning about calls today. And I'm here with Jacob Mills, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his experience today. Have you had fun?
Yes, I've had fun.
Do you think it's beneficial for the future?
Yes, it prepared me
Prepared you for what?
for the future and how hard it's going to be.
And do you know you have to have a good job?
Yes, and education's important.
All right, so you're planning on going to college?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm Andrew Blakely with CCTV 55, and I'm here with Jim Eason, and he's going to tell me a little bit about his booth.
Okay, I have students come in here who want to get a better education, and we have skill levels. They either come in at one skill level, and I can up them by 2. If they'll go get an additional education, say if they have a GED, if they'll come in and get a technical education, I'll pay them an additional $400 a month. Or if they get an associate's degree, I'll pay them an additional $500 a month. And they're assigned their education by the sheet of paper that they pull.
So which one do you suggest, the advanced degree?
Well, if they come in with a GED, the most they're going to get is an associate's degree.
Okay.
If they come in as a dropout, the most they can do in this simulation is get a GED. If they come in with a bachelor's degree, then they can get an advanced degree.
So education is important.
Yes, it's one of the few stations where they get money rather than spend it.
That sounds good. I'm Andrew Blakely with CCTV 55.
Here with Cole and Jessie, and they're doing the program Keeping It Real. So what have you guys learned from this experience?
I've learned just to not have kids and just, stay single my whole life so my wife can, get on.
Okay. Jesse, what about you?
That you need to go to school as soon as you get out of high school, like go to college and get a good degree.
You can still get a good degree if you don't go to college. I mean, a good job. You can get a good job if you don't go to college.
So you guys have learned to go to college, do a career.
Hey, I'm Andrea Blakely here with CCTV 55, and I've got Mayor Max Townson. He's going to tell us a little bit about calls. Can you tell me, do you think this program is beneficial?
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for allowing me to be here today and give some thoughts on this program. I absolutely think it's fantastic. When I was in high school at Coleman High School, we didn't have a program like this. And we didn't, when we got out into the real world, we didn't think about car payments or house payments. So Keeping It Real is a program that's not only going to benefit the students, but it will also be great for the country when people get out into the real world and know how to manage their time, their money, their education, and all those things that are important to give you a happy life.
Do you think this program will expand?
Well, as far as expansion, I'm not sure about that, but we are involved in this through our Economic Development Agency in the city of Coleman. I've seen Susan Eller here today, and she talked to me about it and talked to me about what the city sponsors with this program, and it's been going on for some time. If it does expand, that's wonderful, but I think it needs to be all-encompassing and get as many people involved in it as we possibly can. The expansion's a good idea.
Do you think the motto Keeping It Real helps about kids and thinking that it's part of the real world?
I think that's a great title because in reality, someday you will be faced with all these things, like having children, like owning a home, opening a bank account, savings account, buying an automobile, utility payments, cell phones, big screen TVs. So you have to know how to manage your money. And that's what's happened in America today. We have a lot of people that don't know how to manage their money. And that goes all the way from Congress to the state of Alabama. They need to manage their money also. So if we teach the citizens how to do that, hopefully our government will do the same thing.
That's very true. Thank you. I'm Andrew Blakely with CCTV 55. Thank you.